I'm grasping the opportunity to give it a bit of suns out, guns out, because it's sunny today in London, which is nice. Today's video is going to be about bulking, more specifically the bulk which lasted 11 months that I just finished. I've learned quite a lot of lessons and had some psychological issues as well along the way. I thought I'd share them with you just so you understand what goes into a bulk that long and whether I would do it again if I had the choice. So before we talk about what I actually learned, was it actually successful? What were the results? Surely you want to know that. I would anyway. So I started my bulk last June at 174 pound body weight, around 6 to 7% body fat. That's not exact because I didn't have it measured on show day, but that's kind of where I started. So, and then yesterday when I finished my bulk, I weighed myself at 217.6 pounds and around 16% body fat. Again, I've got one of those handhold scanner things that tells you your body fat. I know it's not 100% accurate, but it gives a good guide. So when you allow for water weight, which there will be definitely more water in my system since then, especially at this body weight, that's probably around 11 pounds of muscle gain and over 40 pounds of body weight in total. So I definitely gained more weight than necessary over this bulk, but it was an 11-month-long bulk, and as a natural lifter I'm happy with taking it 10 to 11 pounds muscle gain in 1 year, especially as I'm not a beginner. So they're the results which I'm pleased with, but what did I learn? Now, firstly, the first lesson was to do with food. I was eating up to 4,500 calories a day for probably 90% of the bulk. There were a few times where I didn't track when I went away, things like that. So it wasn't exact, but that's probably around what I was having even when I wasn't tracking. And the lesson learned is that that's obviously too high. I gained too much body fat in ratio to how much muscle weight, that I gained. So it would be beneficial in the future if I was to do another bulk to lower my overall calories, because I think that definitely suggests to me that they were too high. So that's a lesson that I learned. Another reason why I would lower my calories is because having my calories at 4,500 calories per day, although I was pretty strict on my diet, did cause me to cheat from time to time, because I'd get towards the end of the day excuse me, I'd get towards the end of the day and I might have been a little bit behind on my calories, and actually I couldn't stomach the quantity of whole foods needed to fill that calorie gap, so that ended up in me cheating, maybe having a pizza or something like that. So that was two reasons really to lower my calories. I think ideally I could have been as low as 3,800 calories a day would have been perfectly fine for me. I think I overdid it psychologically because I was impatient and I wanted to see the scales going up. And that leads on to another lesson, which is when you're bulking, you have to be patient, especially when you're a natural. You can't expect to gain muscle super fast. At a maximum, when you're a beginner, you're going to be gaining 1 to 2 pounds of muscle, lean muscle, per month. So there's no point rushing it and hammering in those additional calories, because as proven by my results, it's just going to go to fat gain. So bear that in mind as well. The third lesson which I learned is psychological. After 11 months of bulking, now this was a key issue for me, or even probably 9-10 months in, and the accumulation of body fat on me genetically is mostly around the belly area. My symmetry completely disappeared. I felt fat, to be honest, and I wasn't happy with my body. And I think if I was going to do it again, the take home would be maybe to bulk for 5 months and then take a month at maintenance or a very slight deficit just to trim off that body fat, because although I want to be consistently gaining muscle really at my size, I need to get bigger. I'm 6'3", so I'm tall. Psychologically it's very difficult when I get to a certain body fat. I can start to doubt myself and I start to be like unhappy, not in my life but in my body. So inconsiderate planes again going over. So that's another take home, lower the calories down. Perhaps lowering the calories down would have fixed the problem anyway, but if they hadn't have fixed the problem, I think taking that time out midway through just to trim a bit of body fat. I did actually do that in January for 2 weeks because I really indulged over Christmas and I gained much more fat to muscle ratio, especially in December. So I did have 2 weeks, but 2 weeks isn't really enough to make a change, to be honest. But then I got impatient because I didn't want to be cutting, so then I was like going back on the bulk. So really there was 2 weeks where I wasn't strictly bulking, but I would still count that as part of the process, but I would plan it better in future. I would lower my overall calories, keep the muscle and fat gain pretty level, rather than gaining 4 pounds of body weight every month on average and only gaining 1 pound of muscle. So I've learned a lot of lessons. I have enjoyed the process. I always like learning new things about my body and how my body reacts to things, but I definitely wouldn't go on an 11-month straight bulk without more strategic planning next time. So that's another lesson learned. So hope you can learn from this video. I hope it's useful. If you're planning on bulking, just be strategic about it. I'm going to try and keep hold of the muscle that I've gained. I'm happy with that, and I'll see you next Wednesday, guys. Hope this was useful. If it was, please hit the like button for me bearing my soul about my bulk, and I'll see you next week.